Some moments captured on live television are too shocking to forget. In this video, we'll uncover 5 more real stories of the most disturbing deaths ever broadcast. These are events where tragedy unfolded in real time, leaving viewers in shock and disbelief, and cementing their place in history as chilling reminders of life's unpredictability. It was April 30th, 1998, in Los Angeles, California, when a heartbreaking and shocking event unfolded on live television. Daniel Victor Jones, a 40-year-old maintenance worker from Long Beach, drove his gray 1994 Toyota pickup truck onto a freeway loop connecting the Harbor, I-110, and Century, I-105 freeways. Jones, battling both human immunodeficiency virus and cancer, had grown deeply frustrated with the healthcare system and its delays, which he felt had failed him. His despair led to a tragic protest that captured the nation's attention. Daniel lived quietly in Long Beach in a modest 2-bedroom bungalow with his 7-year-old Labrador Whippet mix, Gladys. Neighbors described him as polite and friendly. Despite his outward calm, Daniel was struggling. Diagnosed with human immunodeficiency virus and later cancer, he believed his healthcare provider, a health maintenance organization, was neglecting him. He spoke to friends about delayed appointments and test results, which he felt were intentional. Earlier that month, he discovered a growth on his neck, which was confirmed to be cancer. His declining health, combined with his frustration, pushed him toward a desperate decision. On that Thursday afternoon, Daniel drove his truck onto the elevated freeway loop and called 911. Armed with a shotgun, he began firing into the air and at passing vehicles. On the call, he expressed anger at the healthcare system, detailing the barriers he faced in getting care. Police quickly closed the freeway, and news helicopters broadcast the scene live. The standoff drew widespread attention as viewers watched in real time. At one point, Daniel stepped out of his truck to display a banner he had prepared, bearing the message that health maintenance organizations were profit-driven, paired with a plea for freedom, safety, or sacrifice. He secured the banner against the wind before returning to his truck. He then paced along the freeway, visibly upset and gesturing toward the cameras, his pain and desperation evident in his movements. Suddenly, Daniel threw a Molotov cocktail inside his truck, setting it on fire. The vehicle quickly became engulfed in flames. Daniel, now on fire himself, ran across the freeway, trying to extinguish the flames. He rolled on the ground and removed his burning pants in an attempt to stop the fire. He then walked to the edge of the freeway, appearing to consider jumping, but ultimately returned to the burning truck. Moments later, he retrieved his shotgun and ended his life in front of the cameras. Tragically, his dog Gladys was trapped inside the truck and did not survive the fire. Police approached the scene cautiously, fearing the truck might contain explosives. Inside, they found remnants of Molotov cocktails, shotgun shells, and Gladys's remains. Daniel had also thrown items over the freeway wall earlier, including a videotape. The tape was later reviewed and revealed a message he had recorded the day before. In the video, Daniel sat with Gladys and spoke about his struggles with his health and the healthcare system. He explained his decision, expressing his pain and sense of hopelessness, before saying a final goodbye. The live broadcast of the event sparked widespread criticism. 7 television stations aired the tragedy as it happened, with some interrupting children's programming. Many viewers, including children, witnessed the disturbing scene. This led to debates about the ethics of live news coverage and the responsibilities of broadcasters. Some stations issued apologies and made changes to their policies to avoid similar incidents in the future. Daniel's story sheds light on the frustrations of those who feel abandoned by the healthcare system. His tragic actions were an attempt to bring attention to what he saw as failures in care and support. The incident also raised important questions about how live news is handled and the impact of such events on viewers. While Daniel's actions were extreme, they left lasting questions. Could better care have changed his fate? Did his protest lead to any meaningful changes in healthcare or media practices? His story remains a reminder of the struggles some face in silence and the lasting impact of choices made in despair. It was the evening of July 7, 2011, at the Texas Rangers ballpark in Arlington, Texas. The stadium was packed with excited fans eager to watch the Texas Rangers play against the Oakland Athletics. Among them was Shannon Stone, a 39-year-old firefighter from Brownwood, Texas, who had brought his 6-year-old son Cooper to the game. This was a special outing, as Shannon wanted to create a memorable day for his son. Earlier, they had stopped to buy a new baseball glove, hoping to catch a ball during the game. Shannon was a devoted father and had served as a firefighter for nearly 18 years. He was known for his kindness and strong commitment to his family. This game was especially meaningful to Cooper, as his favorite player, Rangers outfielder Josh Hamilton, was on the field. In the second inning, a foul ball hit by Oakland's Connor Jackson bounced into left field. Josh Hamilton picked up the ball and looked for a fan to toss it to. Shannon, seated in the front row with Cooper, caught his attention. Hamilton tossed the ball toward the stands and Shannon reached out to catch it. In that moment, everything changed. As Shannon leaned over the railing to grab the ball, he lost his balance and fell about 20 feet into a gap near the scoreboard. The fall was sudden, leaving those around him in shock. Cooper, still in his seat, saw the entire incident. Nearby fan Ronnie Hargis tried to grab Shannon but couldn't reach him in time. The sound of the fall stunned the crowd and people nearby rushed to help. Paramedics arrived quickly and witnesses said Shannon was initially conscious. On a stretcher, he reportedly asked the paramedics to check on his son, ensuring Cooper wasn't alone. They reassured him that his son was safe. Shannon was taken to John Peter Smith Hospital in Fort Worth, where he suffered a cardiac arrest on the way and was pronounced dead less than an hour later. The tragic news deeply affected fans, players, and staff. Josh Hamilton was visibly shaken, and the Rangers organization expressed their condolences. The ballpark lowered its flags to half-staff and a moment of silence was held at the next game to honor his memory. Shannon's mother, Suzanne Stone, shared that he and Cooper had been looking forward to the game for weeks. She recalled how Shannon bought Cooper a glove that day to make the outing even more special. Fighting back tears, she described her son as caring and devoted, someone she considered a best friend. Shannon's colleagues at the Brownwood Fire Department mourned his loss. Fire Chief Del Albright remembered him as a dedicated firefighter with a kind heart, while Captain Robert Myers highlighted Shannon's love for his family and his years of service. The incident raised questions about ballpark safety. While the railing where Shannon fell met local codes, this tragedy, along with others at sports venues, led to calls for stricter safety standards. The Rangers and Major League Baseball announced plans to review safety protocols to protect fans in the future. Shannon's passing was a heartbreaking loss, especially for his wife, Jenny, and young son, Cooper. It also deeply affected the community, his colleagues, and those at the ballpark that day. The Brownwood community remembered him as a hero who dedicated his life to helping others. This tragedy left lingering questions about what could have been done differently. Could higher railings or different seat placements have prevented the accident? While these questions remain unanswered, Shannon's story reminds us of the importance of safety and the value of cherishing moments with loved ones. It was the evening of March 16, 1984, at Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport in Louisiana. The terminal was busy with travelers, unaware of the dramatic events about to occur. Among them was Gary Plauché, a father carrying an immense burden of grief and anger. Wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses, he stood by a row of payphones, speaking with a friend. But Gary wasn't there for a casual visit. He was there for his son, 11-year-old Jody, and the man who had caused him unimaginable harm, Jeffrey Doucet. Doucet, a 25-year-old karate instructor, was seen as a mentor in Baton Rouge. But behind this trusted role, he had a troubling history. In 1983, he met Jody Plauché, a cheerful 10-year-old who started attending his karate classes. At the time, Jody's parents, Gary and June, were separated. Doucet inserted himself into their lives, becoming close to Jody and his older brother, Mikey. He even joined family dinners, gaining the family's trust. Gradually, Doucet's behavior shifted. He used his position to build a bond with Jody, slowly testing boundaries under the guise of friendship and mentorship. Over months, his actions escalated into serious misconduct. Despite Doucet's trusted persona, he was manipulating Jody in harmful ways. On February 19, 1984, Doucet went further. He told Jody's mother he was taking the boy on a quick errand, but instead fled with him. They traveled across the country, ending up in a motel in Anaheim, California. To avoid being recognized, Doucet dyed Jody's hair black and claimed he was his son. Jody endured continued harm during this time. Eventually, Doucet allowed Jody to make a collect call to his mother. Authorities traced the call to the motel and swiftly arrested Doucet. Jody was rescued and brought back to Louisiana on March 1, 1984. While Jody was physically safe, he was emotionally scarred. Gary, devastated by what had happened, was overcome with rage and helplessness. On March 16th, Doucet was escorted back to Baton Rouge to face trial. Media outlets covered his arrival, and Gary learned of the schedule from a local television station employee. Armed with a .38 caliber revolver hidden in his boot, Gary waited near the payphones at the airport. As Doucet was led through the terminal in handcuffs, Gary, still on the phone with a friend, turned, pulled out a gun, and fired a single shot at Doucette. The bullet struck Doucette in the head, and he collapsed to the ground as officers quickly restrained Gary. An officer, while handcuffing Gary, questioned his actions, to which Gary responded calmly, justifying his motives. The shooting, captured on camera, shocked viewers across the country. Doucette was rushed to a hospital but died from his injuries the following day. Gary was charged with second-degree murder but later accepted a plea deal, pleading no contest to manslaughter. Psychological evaluations suggested he had been in a temporary state of extreme emotional distress when he acted. The court sentenced him to a 7-year suspended sentence, 5 years of probation, and 300 hours of community service. He did not serve prison time. Public opinion was divided. Some sympathized with Gary, believing his actions were driven by a father's love for his son. Others questioned the morality of taking justice into one's hands. Jody, meanwhile, struggled with mixed feelings. Despite the abuse, he had seen Doucette as a friend and mentor and did not wish for his death. Over time, Jody worked through his trauma with the support of his family. He eventually forgave his father and focused on rebuilding his life. Jody became an advocate for survivors of abuse, raising awareness about its long-term effects. In 2019, he published a book titled Why Gary, Why?, to share his story and help others understand the emotional scars such experiences leave behind. Gary Plauché spent the rest of his life in Baton Rouge. He passed away in 2014 at the age of 68, remaining unrepentant about his actions. His son's story, however, inspired many and showed his resilience. On October 12, 1960, an event in Tokyo changed Japan's political history forever. Inejiro Asanuma, the chairman of the Japan Socialist Party, was speaking to an audience of 1,000 people at Hibiya Public Hall during a televised political debate. Asanuma had spent years navigating the complexities of Japanese politics. Born in 1898 on the island of Miyake-jima, he endured a tough childhood, losing both parents at a young age. Despite these challenges, he excelled academically and studied at Waseda University, where he became involved in leftist activism. Over time, his political stance shifted from supporting ultranationalist views during World War II to becoming a prominent advocate for socialism in post-war Japan. Asanuma's political views often stirred controversy. He supported the People's Republic of China, criticized the United States, and opposed the United States-Japan Security Treaty. These positions made him a divisive figure. During a 1959 visit to Beijing, he described the United States as the shared enemy of China and Japan, a statement that sparked both criticism and admiration. Despite the backlash, his passionate speeches earned him the loyalty of many working-class citizens. The debate at Hibiya Public Hall was meant to outline visions for Japan's future ahead of the elections for the House of Representatives. The political atmosphere was tense. Among those present was 17-year-old Otoya Yamaguchi, a member of a far-right nationalist group. Disguised in a school uniform, Yamaguchi concealed a short samurai sword, a wakizashi, beneath his clothing. As Asanuma spoke, Yamaguchi suddenly rushed onto the stage and attacked him with the sword. The blow was precise, causing fatal internal injuries. Asanuma collapsed and was pronounced dead shortly after, leaving Japan in shock. The attack was broadcast live by Nippon Hoso Kyokai, or NHK, Japan's public broadcaster, reaching millions of viewers. Yasushi Nagao, a photographer covering the event, captured a powerful image of the moment Yamaguchi was subdued while attempting a second strike. The photograph, which showed the horrifying act in vivid detail, earned Nagao the Pulitzer Prize and the World Press Photo of the Year. Authorities later discovered a note from Yamaguchi accusing Asanuma of betraying Japanese values and supporting foreign ideologies. The incident led to widespread unrest. Around 15,000 left-wing demonstrators protested outside the Tokyo police headquarters, demanding accountability for the lack of security. Clashes between protesters and police resulted in numerous injuries. Politically, the assassination left the Japan Socialist Party without a strong leader during a critical time, creating internal divisions and diminishing its influence under Asanuma's successor, Saburo Eida. Yamaguchi, who was taken into custody immediately, showed no regret for his actions. While in juvenile detention, he ended his own life using a knotted bedsheet 3 weeks after the attack. Before his death, he left a message written with toothpaste, referencing loyalty to traditional Japanese ideals and expressing devotion to the emperor. His death turned him into a controversial figure, celebrated as a hero by far-right nationalist groups. Asanuma's assassination sent shockwaves across Japan and beyond. It highlighted the deep divisions and volatility of Japan's post-war political landscape. The loss of Asanuma deprived the Japan Socialist Party of a leader who had inspired many with his dedication and vision. His death raised questions about political security and the impact of extremism. Could his life have been saved with better protection at the event? How might Japan's politics have evolved if he had continued his leadership? These lingering questions remind us of the consequences of unchecked political unrest and division.